And we are live. Welcome to another live stream. All right, it's your boy Merc. In today's live stream review, we're gonna talk about a few things. All right, couple things that I've seen over social media in the past couple of days that sparked my interest. Right, things that I felt we all needed to discuss and have a little talk on. On the stream. I was trying to get some videos and stuff like that, but for the most part, we're gonna keep it pretty simple. All right, I'm gonna keep it on some photos, and we're gonna talk about the topic, and I'm gonna share my points on them. But before we do that, make sure everybody likes, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way, everything I post, you guys are just fully aware of. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm gonna give people a couple minutes to populate if they choose to. If they want to. Let's go. Hope y'all having a wonderful Sunday evening too. I actually was prepared to do this video yesterday, but I got called into work literally like 2 minutes into the stream. They're like, "Hey, we need you to go do this and that," and I was like, "God damn it!" I was hyped and ready. I had a fit put on and everything. I had all this stuff. But the cool thing is, I was able to add probably like 2 to 3 more topics. So, we can speak about it a little more because overnight some things came to light. Bars. You know what I'm saying? So give everybody a couple seconds, man. A couple seconds. Let me get something together. Yes, sir. We live. Again, we live with it. I told y'all I wasn't playing. I told y'all we coming all the way this year. All the way, man. Boom. Let's go. All right. What's the first topic of the day? All right. So when I saw this first topic, I thought it was pretty nuts. Not going to lie. It was pretty crazy. Couldn't believe it. So essentially, I'm just going to throw this up on the screen. A Texas man pauses his date to kill the man who scammed him for $40 parking and then boop, boop, beep, boop, bop, returns to his date like nothing happened. First of all, first thing that pops up to my mind in this is Texas man, all right? The next worst thing is like Florida man, right? Like, you got to watch us out here in these southern states. So, yeah, this Texas man kills some guy in the middle of a date for $40. Let's think about this. Let's think about this, shall we? Not only did Buddy kill someone, right, like cold blood. Sure, fine, he got scammed, okay? He felt like he needed to get his retribution. But he just goes back to the date like nothing happened. Like, that's a very wild man to me, right? A psychopath of some sort. There's no way you could just go back to your dinner like, yeah, so on my off time, I like to fish and go hunting. Like, there's no way. You got to have the jitters or some look in your eye. But apparently, from what I read, this dude literally did his duty and went right back onto his date. So, I mean, essentially, this guy threw his life away for $40, right? He's got a life sentence for $40 on a date with a girl who probably doesn't give a shit about him, And, Texas is crazy, too, because there's open carry law, which means for people that don't know, you could have a weapon, like, brandished on your seat, and a cop could walk by and be like, hey, that's a nice mag on that AR. And you're like, yeah, thanks, John. Like, literally, it is open carry. You can do whatever you want with it. So it doesn't surprise me that somebody was able to kill somebody like that. But to do it because of that, to me, is there's something wrong with this guy, okay? Like, Cootie Cat can't be that big on your mind that you're going to kill somebody because you got, like, $40, nigga. Like, what? The meal, bro, your meal alone is going to be over 40. So it's like, come on, man. Like, take the loss. Where's your car anyway? Maybe these are some other good questions we need to figure out. Like, what happened to the car, and how did he even realize he got scammed? Oh, you know what? I'm lying. I did read about this. And it said that when the restaurant or wherever he was confirmed that he got bamboozled, that's when he went back and set the record straight. So sometimes you just can't play with certain people 100%. Some people you just can't play with. You don't know what someone's going through day to day, right? And this guy clearly, look at this photo. He looks like a BMW, like body made wrong. Like Buddy looked like he got socks with his Crocs on with jeans tucked in his socks. I don't know. He looks very odd to me. But yeah, man, that's a pretty odd story. I couldn't believe it when I heard that shit. Really, it blew my mind. And I got this from No Jumper, man. Shout out to No Jumper, But hey, shout out to the community, Big community in the building. But what y'all think about that, man? Throw me something in the comments. Let me know what you think, man. Do you know anything about this case, this dude, right? The shooter? Because I don't know nothing else other than that. All right. Next on the list, what else we got, man? What else we got? I know I started a little grim, right? Some guy murdering someone, right? Like, that's a little harsh. It wasn't that I just wanted to start off like that. I just thought it was shocking, but not as shocking as I found this next story, okay? So Amber Heard, we all know this shitty name. We all know old Amber in the Johnny Depp trial of the defamation case, right? Where she defecated on his pillowcase. Bars, nigga. Oh, shit. Yo, Amber Heard will officially return as Mila in the upcoming movie Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Let's talk about Aquaman for a second, all right? Let's talk about DC for a sec. So Aquaman, in my opinion, was a pretty decent film. There's a lot of things that I felt could have been better about it, whatever, but I actually enjoyed seeing the action sequences when these characters were fighting in the DC. It is different from Marvel, and it's very hard to explain, but just the way the fight scenes occur and the CGI effects, I would say in DC, it seems like just one fluid motion, right? Like it's just one long fight, not a lot of cuts. And maybe in Marvel, it's more that. So Aquaman was a pretty good addition to the DCU, along with, Wonder Woman. I felt Flash. This new Flash movie was supposed to be coming out way before, but it continuously got pushed back. But Aquaman per se was a pretty dope movie. I didn't even recognize that Amber Heard was in it. Like, she wasn't even anybody that popular to me. The most I've ever seen her is in the movie Pineapple Express. For y'all that don't know, she is the girl she's the high school girl that Seth Rogen is dating, and he meets her parents and yada, yada, yada. But, yeah, so she gets to return, which is extremely odd to me, right? Because Johnny Depp, before they even reached a verdict in that case, was removed from Pirates of the Caribbean. He was supposed to return for a 5th, 6th installment. I'm not 100% sure. I fell off of the Pirates of the Caribbean wagon when they remade it with people's kids or some shit, and it was like the exact same story. I was like, this is booty. Straight cheeks. But anywho, we got Mila coming back, which is odd. They should have canceled her the same way they were going to cancel Johnny Depp. But I got something else to add. Something else. So I got this from the Daily Loud, all right, on their Twitter account. It says, during an exclusive presentation to CineCon audience members, Warner Brother released the first trailer for DC's Aquaman 2. The sequel starring Jason Momoa as the underwater superhero also sees Amber Heard's character Mila make a brief cameo, according to reports at the festival. So let me move this out the way so y'all could see my profile. So essentially, there was some sort of Comic-Con, some sort of DC Con, and in the trailer, they showed Amber Heard. I'm sure that she had already shot some scenes and probably, more than likely, already signed some contracts and stuff like that. So her appearance maybe had to happen, okay? So it says Heard's role in the sequel came under question during her high-profile defamation trial with ex-husband Johnny Depp. That's awesome. That's exactly what I said. And I was going off the top of the dome. I didn't even realize it was a defamation, but it's just that's what I thought. Deadline reported Tuesday that Heard does have a cameo in the trailer, but in a little battle scene. This all confirms that Amber will play a role in the sequel. So yeah, man, Daily Loud definitely hit the nail on the head. Like what will her role consist of? And if you ask me, it's probably going to be something brief because Aquaman 2, I heard, isn't even going to count in these future DC universe that I think James Gunn is going to be overseeing. Sorry. And I'm under the impression that, Jason Momoa's Aquaman is done after this movie. So who gives a shit? Throw Amber in there. The movie's probably not going to do so well anyway, just like Shazam didn't or Black Adam didn't. Actually, I thought Black Adam wasn't so bad, but Shazam 2 was a snooze fest, and I'm not looking for any type of fucking cinematic magic going on for this movie. I feel like it's gonna be extremely boring, but maybe the CGI fights will be cool, like I told you guys. I don't know. I have no idea. I couldn't really tell you, but Amber Heard, her nickname's Amber Turd. So that tells you enough, man. So now we're going to go and jump into something a little more, I guess, sad. But we're going to make this positive, and we're going to send a lot of well wishes. So I actually saw this 2 to 3, maybe 4 days ago. Jamie Foxx had to be revived after having a stroke on set. Not Django. No, not my boy. I can't believe it. I love Jamie Foxx, man. Prayers and well wishes sending his way for a fast and speedy recovery. To my understanding, his daughter or somebody extremely close to him reported on this and let everybody know what was going on with him, which is so sad, man. Thinking about Jamie Foxx, I definitely remember him more as a musician, right? Blame It on the Alcohol. Even in the Jamie Foxx show, I always remember him playing a lot of music, and he was in Living Color, I believe, and a lot of other things before my time. But, Jamie Foxx is definitely up there as a legend. One of my favorite actors, his front wig piece or wherever, like when he went to Turkey to get his hairline done, like that shit is fire. In that new movie where he was fighting vampires, Day Shift on Netflix, I was like, yo, where my man hairline came from? Because in Django, it wasn't like that. But yeah, if I could name you my top 5 Jamie Foxx movies, it would be Django, off rip. Django, and Django. But that was a top tier movie, okay? Nothing else Jamie Foxx has done. Not even Spider-Man No Way Home. That even the Spider-Man 2 movie and the Amazing Spider-Man, he didn't do like a phenomenal job where I was blown away, or anything like that. But Jamie Foxx is a great actor and even better singer, and I hear he's an amazing father as well. So prayers go up to Jamie, and it's sad when you realize that your idols are not immortal. The people that you looked up to, you watched on TV. I'll give you guys an example. I'm sure that our parents and our elders, when someone like, I don't know, Jerry Springer dies, right? Like they might be like, oh man, fuck that. Maybe not even Jerry Springer, but like Celia Cruz, right? My mother loved listening to her music growing up. And one day she picked me up from school crying. And I'm like, Mom, what happened? Why are you crying? And I start crying. You see your mom shedding tears. It's hard to hold them back. I knew immediately something bad happened. And she was like, Se murió Celia. And I'm like, oh, no, not Celia, Mom. I'm like, man, who's Celia? And she was like, Celia Cruz. And I was like, the singer, Mom, the Azúcar. And, but anyway, it's sad when the people you look up to inevitably pass away. And the older that we get, the sooner the people that we looked up to, our older, elder generation, they meet their mortality soon. So, man, shout out to Jamie. He's so young, too. It's not even like he's an old guy. I'm sure Jamie Foxx is like 52, 53. He can't be any older than my dad. Like, he looked younger than me. Straight up. Shout out to Jamie Foxx, man. Oh, God. Now, this topic is the one I really been wanting to chat with y'all about, man, because when I saw this, it really, threw me through a fucking loop, okay? It threw, it threw me through a loop. Yo, Mila Kunis reportedly in talks to play Fantastic Four's The Thing. Mila Kunis reports in talk to play The Thing. Let's look at this photo for a second and let's actually be real with what's going on here, okay? If Marvel had like a gentrification type of word for like putting women in male characters and gender swapping things, like this would be that, right? I don't know the proper word, but why in God's name would you want Mila Kunis with rock titties as The Thing? Like, it makes absolutely no sense. I saw a video. She was with Patrick Stewart, and they were speaking on the rumor because she was out seen having like a luncheon or a dinner meeting with the director or something like that, one of the top guys for the movie. And she says, like, I know who plays in the movie, but she didn't ever say that she was The Thing. But as this story came out a day or two ago, this morning, I saw a whole other post where they're literally stating she is the one playing The Thing, and I just can't believe that. The character for The Thing, I'm sure a lot of people may not know the background. His name is Ben Grimm. He's from Brooklyn. He gets turned into this rock thing, and his main goal is to get untransformed, to be a regular human again, because being a rock person is obviously hella annoying. I couldn't fucking imagine that shit. Dust everywhere. You got cracks in your eyes. Like, this shit does not look fun. So I don't know. Maybe if it's like her voicing The Thing in some way or something, like I just can't see this being any kind of cool fucking way. All right. Marvel is doing a lot of this shit where they're pushing a lot of this women being, like the Captain Marvel movies and making it like making us care about characters that we just really shouldn't. Okay. But damn, Mila Kunis as The Thing, I don't like that gender role swap at all. I like Mila Kunis looking just like she do right there. Nice looking lady. If you mix those two faces right there, what the fuck you trying to do here? Scare children? Like, we trying to have a movie we want to go see and have fun to. And if this is any sign of what the movie is going to be like, your highlight is turning Mila Kunis into The Thing, it's going to be trash. Just like the last rendition of the Fantastic Four. Hella trash. Okay? Nobody liked it. I like the visuals, and I like the quality of the movie. The quality of the movie looked great, but the plot, it was straight booty cheeks, straight booty. But man, this shit really, like, I can't even understand why they would want to do that. Even in Multiverse of Madness, they had Mr. Fantastic, who was I forget that guy's name. But he was fan casted, which means people on the internet decided and chose and voted for him to be Mr. Fantastic. So in the movie, they kind of gave us that fan service by doing that. But I also read shortly after they're not going to continue, with that guy as Mr. Fantastic. I don't even know why they didn't bring back the original Mr. Fantastic to be in that movie. That would have been so much easier and would have saved a lot of fucking talk. Like, put that guy in there. It makes sense. This type of shit right here just don't make no type of sense, man. Like, don't nobody give a fuck about The Thing mixed with Mila Kunis. Straight like that. All right, man. All right. Enough about Mila Kunis, the rock gal. The rock gal. Ooh. I like this topic right here, okay? I know y'all probably heard this new album, right? Or y'all heard a little bit of uproar about this new, it's not a mixtape. I think it's an album by Jack Harlow, okay? Kentucky's very own. What's causing a little bit of controversy is on one of his songs, he has a bar where he compares himself to being the hardest white boy who rapped about, sorry about that, I misread it. It says, the hardest white boy since the one who rapped about vomit in sweaters. First of all, I don't even like that bar. I know that it was taken out of context. Something probably rhymed with sweaters, and we don't know what that was. So, there's a million other things he could have, chose to rhyme with. But let's talk about it, all right? Jack Harlow. Whose top 5 is he really in? Let's be real with you. Like, I saw that he went to his high school, right? And he performed there maybe, or just went to show face and make some content. But I'm sure those kids got Jack Harlow in their top 5, right? Dylan. But I was reading this, and I just felt a little bit confused because Eminem is one of the best rappers out there, okay? And I have a very contradictory outlook on Eminem because I kind of feel like he's so corny right now, and he's been corny for a while, but that doesn't take away from all the things and all of the accolades Eminem has achieved, and he's white. Let's just, he's a good rapper, and he's white, all right? If you think about it, the way that he rapped, too, it was never no thuggish, hardcore type of music we listen to now. He was a storyteller, and his story was just a little different. So, a lot of us could relate. A lot of us did relate, or we chose to relate. So to hear Jack Harlow say he is the hardest white boy since Eminem, like, I just don't know if I agree with it. I think we needed to have a breakdown definition on, like, what the hardest is, right? Like, when you tell me the hardest white boy, I don't even think about Eminem. Like, let's just be honest. Like, I would say one of the hardest white boys would have to be, like, Lil White. And I know people probably don't even know who Lil White is, but he used to rap with 3 6 Mafia, and he was a very gangster rapper. Hardest white boy. I put Post Malone above Jack Harlow. Let's keep it a buck, okay? It's like, to go against Eminem, you got a whole other list of white boys you got to pass, right? Like, you can't just go to the top of the list, bro. You should have went after MGK. And I don't mean to put the, Eminem with the MGK, but, like, you should have compared yourself to someone on your level. Eminem has, like, 8 albums. You got 2, brother. And I couldn't even tell you the names of either of your albums, bro. I could tell you 2 of your songs. Okay? I'm from the up in the hey, up in the hey. Don't even know the name of the song, but I know that's your song, okay? I hear it all the time. Like, you're a good song maker. You're maybe like the hardest song maker from Kentucky. We got to put some pretenses in front of this shit. I'm the hardest white boy out of Kentucky since the one who, that make a little more sense. But just to throw yourself out the window and compare yourself to Eminem clearly was a clout. I hate clout too. Like, I hate that word, but it was an attention grabber. This is something you put in your album. You want people to listen through the whole thing. And when this comes about, this creates a certain, like, interest in your album, right? People are like, oh, shit. Oh, what? I wonder what else he said. What song did he say this on? Like, I want to hear, which track it was. And it inevitably makes everyone have to go hear through your entire album. So maybe this is good on you. This was good for you. But at the end of the day, Jack Harlow, your hair ain't even harder than Eminem. Like, there's nothing about you that hardest white boy since the one who rapped about, bro. And then you're talking about the vomit on mom's spaghetti already. Come on, bro. That's one of Eminem's top moments of his whole life. They made a movie around that. So you're basing your 2-3 year career off of a moment that Eminem had when I was in high school, bro. And I'm 32. So if this is who you want to compare yourself to, good. You should look at yourself as one of the greatest. You should look at yourself as the hardest. That's what is going to make you become that. So I do respect it, okay? I do respect it, and I love the enthusiasm. Jack Boy, what's his name? Sorry. Jack White? Jack Harlow. Sorry, brother. Jack Frost? What's his name? Oh, Jack Bangs. Look at his hair. Look at my boy's hair, though. Like, I want to see his hairline, okay? I want to see where it begins and where it ends. That's what I want to see. Eminem, too. Take that stupid, goofy-ass do-rag off and the hat you always wearing, because we know you don't have waves, brother. Take that monkey shit off. I want to see what you look like in real life, okay? But, yeah, man, when I saw this shit, I thought it was funny. And, you know, I'm not even going to be super rude to Jack Harlow because I did listen to a little tiny portion of his album yesterday, of all days, and I did like his flow a little more than previous songs. I thought that he was being a little more honest and telling a little more of his personal story in the songs that I heard. He's talking about his siblings and what that has done to him, you know, and how that makes him feel. And I respect that a lot. All jokes aside, you know, a lot of this music is so much bullshit and it's so much fluff and what the industry wants you to, you know, what's popular, doing drugs, sipping lean and all this law-breaking shit. And here comes Jack Harlow, you know, a Kentucky boy wanting to, you know, shed some light on where he's from and what he's gone through, hoping that can help others. So, you know, the hardest, the coolest, I'll give you the coolest, bro. You are the coolest white boy since Slim Shady. Cool-wise, like, yeah, think about it. Who else is cool with the black community like Jack Harlow? Right? Jack Harlow is probably the only guy you will see at a BET thing, ceremony, show. Excuse me, like he's the only one that you'll see there, right? I even remember seeing him shooting his shot at Sweetie, right? When have you ever seen Eminem shoot a shot at anybody with melanin? Never, okay? Not that I've ever seen or heard of. And I don't never even see him at these events, right? But he already did that. That's the thing. Eminem already did this shit, right? Like when Jack Harlow was in his dad's sack, like Eminem already took off with this shit, right? Jack Harlow's probably like, I don't know. He looked like 16 in rabbit ears. Like his face is retardedly old and young looking at the same time. I don't really know how old he could be, but he ain't nowhere near Eminem. He ain't nowhere near Eminem, especially lyrically. Come on. Half of Jack Harlow's songs, I have to like give him poetic criticism. Like, oh, he's trying to be poetic here. Nah. My boy ain't got no timing. He ain't got no flow. He trying to be harder than he really is. He think he's way further than he actually is. You know, you ain't put the time in, young fella. That's just it. You ain't put in the time. But enough of that, man. Let's get off Jack Harlow back. All right. Let's let him breathe for a little bit, right? Look at his shirt. Look at his shirt. He is the hardest white boy. Come on, man. Eminem is somewhere laughing his ass off right now. Okay, man. Okay. Oh, wow. When I saw this shit, I was absolutely astonished. I'm actually really excited to talk about this one. Sony, I was actually going to say Sony for y'all. Like, and I just said Sony. Sometimes my brain try to put words together. I don't know. Sony has confirmed to investors that Spider-Man 2 will release this year. Spider-Man 2, y'all don't even know how happy that makes me feel. Let's go in. To this day, nigga, I play Spider-Man, and not even the Miles Morales one, which is extremely dope, but I actually play the original Spider-Man game, the new one, you know, the predecessor of Spider-Man 2, not the Miles Morales one. It was just an amazing overall game. I'm not a big Call of Duty first-person view shooter game. I like stories. I like games like Uncharted, third-person view, and you're living out this in this, what do you call it, sandbox type of environment, right? You got the open city at your disposal. You can swing between, through, across any bridge and building. You could even possibly imagine. And the accuracy of the buildings and Times Square and stuff like that, and the graphics is totally phenomenal. Like I love that game so much, yo. Like I purposely played it on the hardest level possible to take my time with it, and I absolutely did. So when the second Spider-Verse game came out, if you could say, you know, the Miles Morales one, I thought that one was super fire because we were already introduced to Miles Morales in the Spider-Verse movie, right? So then we get to play this game where he's involved, and even in the first Spider-Man, Miles Morales was involved. So this game is going to combine them both. We're going to have Peter Parker and Miles Morales, and I'm 100% sure we're going to be able to play between them both. You're going to have like a storyline that mixes between both of the characters, and you're going to have to go, you know, through the missions as either or. And that shit is super dope, man. Just to think about the urban aspect of Miles Morales video game alone was amazing, right? Very hip hop influenced. You're in Brooklyn, and it's just, and you're in Harlem. Like, it is such a urban feel, man. There's Puerto Rican flags everywhere. I love the representation in that game 100%. I remember like just walking around in the game trying to find all of those Puerto Rican references. You know, she says coquito. He tells her bendición to play a video game, and you're one of your favorite superheroes, and they say bendición to their mother. Oh, it's so relatable, you know, and I love that game. So to have them both mixed in, and from what I've seen in the trailer, they have Venom, who's coming in and is going to inflict some sort of carnage on them. Maybe we'll meet Carnage, who knows? But it's gonna be a very co-op type of fighting style, I bet you. Maybe you can't tag team and swap characters, but if you've played the first or Miles Morales, Spider-Man, you know what it's like to fight with other characters. So it is very interactive when you're playing co-op. So I'm very excited for this new game, man. Even the title alone looks extremely dope. I mean, I don't know if that's Venom's. It looks like a mix between both Spider-Man's logos, and they got the black like Venom. This shit looks incredible to me. Straight up. And I should have put this one on there. They are making a Wolverine game. Well, they're making a Wolverine game where it's from the same people from Sony, right? So think about the Spider-Man game as Wolverine. Like that shit to me, I couldn't even imagine. I remember playing a Wolverine game on PlayStation back in the day. It was called X something. I can't remember, but it was so fire. It was third-person view, but it wasn't the open world, right? You couldn't just run around everywhere. You were in an enclosed map. You kind of got that feeling you could go off and do your own thing, but for the most part, you were sticking to the story. And in this game, what's so dope about it is you don't just stick to the story. You play hella side missions, and there's like a continual crime going on all the time. Like the crime level is always high, depending on points in the game. So there's always things going on where you can really enjoy the game, and I just can't wait to enjoy a new game. Like, I'm still playing the first one. That's how great it was. I would say the only other game that I play more than Spider-Man is Uncharted. And that game, top tier in my book. Top tier. Spider-Man 2. What do y'all think, man? Am I tripping? Or y'all want to play Fortnite? Like, am I tripping, or you want to go play Harry Potter? Am I bugging, or you want to go play Jedi? No. You want to play Spider-Man 2. Come on. Just as bad as I do. Bro, Venom is in it, and the guy who voices Candyman is the voice of Venom. Don't ask me where this knowledge comes from. It's just things that I've read and seen. I just know this shit to be true. I just know it to be true. That is a hard-ass voiceover to be Venom. The voice of Candyman. That is ultimate. That's literally ultimate. Can't get any better than that. You just can't. I can't wait for this game to come out. And it says it comes out this year. We don't even got to wait a whole other year because we already been waiting some time. Like, I'm concerned. I was about to write an email to Sony because, like, I'm a concerned Patreon who pays for, Sony and my PlayStation Network shit. When's the game coming out? Where's the second trailer reveal? We don't need it because they're going to release it already. That's what I love, man. I can't wait for that shit. God, I cannot wait. This game is going to be so off the chain, man. This game is going to be so hard, man. But enough of Spider-Man. Enough of Wolverine, all right? Enough of that. Enough of that, man. Enough of that. Enough of that, man. How y'all doing, though? How y'all doing today, man? I've been having a pretty awesome day. Yesterday, I had to work super fucking late. And I was literally about to start my stream and everything, and I got called off. Shit was hella annoying. Like, to work up the jitters enough, throughout the day to be like, I'm live streaming today, man. I'm going live. I don't give a fuck, man. I'm going home. I'm going to go live. Like, to do that and to be in that mood and then, like, it gets shut down, it's pretty shitty. But I knew today we were going to go live. We were going to talk about some of this shit, man. I didn't mean to throw me in the corner, but, yeah, I knew this shit was going to be extremely awesome. I already knew it. And if you guys missed anything, we're going to run right back through it. We're going to run right back through it one time, man. I think one of the ones I really want to touch on is I want to talk about this shit one more time, man. Mila Kunis. Just because I'm thinking about it a lot, and I just can't even imagine why on God's green earth they would do that shit. I believe I have an idea that she's just involved in the movie in some way. She's not going to be one of... I mean, she could be Sue Summers, but she cannot be Ben Grimm. It just would be so stupid of them to just throw her in the mix like that into the Marvel. She is in no Marvel movie. To throw her in and then be Ben Grimm, you're going to genderfication her, right? You're going to change who she's supposed to be. That's hella awkward. I don't see why they would be doing that, especially with the director. Like, everybody knows how important Fantastic Four is. I would see Kang the Conqueror being in Fantastic Four before I saw Mila Kunis, because even if you remember in the Loki series, Kang told Loki that he told him that his name was something Richards, which indicates he was a descendant of Mr. Fantastic. I can't think his name. Reed Richards, right? So he somehow in any timeline, in some version of the multiverse, he was related to the Fantastic Four, or is Mr. Fantastic. Who knows? But they did drop that little Easter egg in Loki, and that is an awesome thing too. I want to add with the Marvel movies, because I know a lot of people don't watch every single show, but you kind of have to be in tune with everything going on Marvel to really care enough about what's going on in Marvel, because if you just see the trailer for Captain Marvel 2, you'd be like, yo, who cares? Who are these people? The girls are taking over Marvel. They're taking over the industry. Think of Ghostbusters. They turn them into all women. Like, not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just the way they do it. It's not authentic. It doesn't flow, right? If you're going to change something, let it flow. For example, Scooby-Doo, right? Making all of these gender swaps, and I think like Shaggy was a black guy. Like, what's the point of this shit? Like, we know these characters to be who they are. What's the point? Here's a good argument, right? What do you guys think about The Little Mermaid? Okay, I know this is kind of an old topic. A lot of people don't, maybe they kind of got over this, but I might have an unpopular opinion, and I feel that they should have picked a little white girl with red hair to play the Little Mermaid. Not that there's anything wrong with Chloe Bailey. I think she's a super beautiful black girl, but like, come on. It's the Little Mermaid. Like, and I get it. Like, who cares if we change the color? Like, exactly. Who cares? So why change the color? Like, who cares? You're creating more of an issue by changing the race. Like, if you just made the Little Mermaid with a white girl, nobody would say shit. But because you gonna say gender swap because I'm looking at old Mila on the screen. But because you race swapped her, now it's an issue. Now it's a point for everyone to talk about. And yeah, sure, does that add fuel to the movie? Sure. And will Chloe Bailey do an amazing job? Yes. I'm 100% sure she will. But I'm just saying, I like for shit to be how I know it to be. All right, let me try to think of another example of a key character and they race swap them. Like, and it wouldn't make sense. I don't know, okay, off the top. But, you know, it works, but sometimes it doesn't work. Maybe in The Little Mermaid, it's going to work, right? Maybe it's going to work. I remember when I watched the first trailer, everything was so dark, right? Like the ocean was dark. She was like in the dark singing about the spoon. And I love that song, by the way. And to see, it was so dark, I didn't like it, right? So off rip, I wasn't liking it just off of the visual effects, not even because Chloe Bailey is a black girl. Like, that wasn't my problem. But the more people talk about it and the more people were bringing it to the table, I start thinking about it myself for real. And I'm like, man, you know, what's the guy's name? Atlantis? King Atlantis, whatever. He's a white guy. Like, if you're gonna make it make sense, okay? If you're gonna have her, okay, and she a black girl and she's the Little Mermaid, at least go ahead, swap the dad too. Why don't you make the dad black? No, you're gonna keep him white. Like, to me, it's just like you playing games now, right? Like, don't know white people have black babies, okay? Unless they're adopted or something. Like, it shit just don't happen like that. But because it is what it is, and Disney want to remake movies that they've already created, why don't you just make a whole other movie like The Little Mermaid's cousin? You know what I'm saying? Brianna. Like, you could have did a whole other thing instead of, you know, taking over this shit and making it something that it never was or supposed to be. But, you know, maybe by them making Mila Kunis Ben Grimm, maybe her name will be, what's a Ben type of girl name? Benina? I have no idea. Like, shit just ain't gonna make no sense. What if it's like what if she's like a trans woman? What if they super woke? What if they make her a trans woman and when she turned into the thing, she's still a man rock? Because she's really a man. Hey, yo! Disney is not that woke. I don't know. They push that shit hella hard. Who knows? She could be a trans woman. She was born male, transitioned into a female, but because genetics are genetics, when she gets blasted by the boom and she's a male, and maybe that could be her fighting force. Oh, I'm not a girl rock man. I'm a trans rock man. Mila Kunis, you're gonna be a man. Oh my God. You're gonna be a man. Why did you sign on for this? Oh, you're gonna have rock titties. Oh God. Mila Kunis, don't sign the contract. I beg of you, don't sign the contract. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Oh, man. Oh, God. All right, look, I got one more thing I want to talk about, okay? I'm getting hot, man. That shit was funny to me. Oh, that shit was funny. Okay, I got one more thing I want to talk about. It's pretty prevalent in terms of like what's going on in music and maybe politics, if you want to say that, right? So everybody knows what's going on with YSL, okay? They are all, maybe not all, but most are indicted in a RICO case because a lot of them are committing crimes in furtherance of the gang, allegedly. And let's just say everyone is innocent until proven guilty on paper. But in the real world, when you look like the way YSL looks and the way we look as colored folks, it's not that way, all right? And unfortunately, a lot of them are denied bond and they can't do a lot. But let's be real, okay? Young Thug has been rapping about very explicit things in his music. And they're coinciding those lyrics with real events, okay? It could be coincidental, absolutely. The prosecutor could be looking for those key things to really make it seem that way. You can make anything seem how you want it with enough evidence, okay? But let's be honest, it's not looking too good for Young Thug. And a lot of guys in his camp took plea deals, which means they made a bargain with the government, cooperated, those are two different words, and were able to be on probation for 15, 20 years, which is insane. They already know you're going to mess up. That's why they want you to be on probation for that long. People are kind of dumb. I would have took the 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I want to be on probation for 20 years of my life living on pins and needles. Anywho, yes, people snitched. That's a hot topic. We're gonna touch on snitching one day and what I think on it. But Young Thug's main man, Gunna, okay, went on a stand, said that YSL was a gang. He said that there was instances where there was drugs in a car and it was only him and Young Thug, and he said it wasn't mine, which implicates one other person. He confirmed it was a gang, which is what Young Thug is fighting against, all right? So a lot of speculation that we've been having out here in the real world is that they agreed together, right? Trabajaron juntos, Young Thug y Gunna, right? They agreed, hey, bro, go ahead, get out, drop a couple albums, get the money right, take care of YSL, keep it going. That's what, best case scenario, a lot of people were thinking that was going to happen. But we've been all left in limbo because Gunna ain't said shit, Young Thug ain't said shit. Other people around Young Thug have spoken out against Gunna, but not anyone of fucking value. So on Young Thug's Instagram, which is very, very much active, all right, Young Thug somehow behind bars is able to post and talk about things and spread information across his Instagram. Like, I thought in prison they take everything, but I guess, like, if you got a big enough butthole, you could sneak in a phone and, like, people could be on their gram. I've never been to jail or prison, so, like, I can only assume that's how it works. You woo over one of the COs and you tell her to stuff it in somewhere and bring it. That's the only way. That's really the only way. But anywho, Young Thug posts Gunna's link to his new album in his bio, right? And when he posts that shit in his bio, the internet was in a frenzy. The internet was like, what? Huh? Oh, man. Oh, Young Thug's rocking with Gunna. Nah, Slime. You think the Slime God is going to mess with a rat? He took that shit off less than 24 hours later on GOD. On GOD, he took that shit right off. All right? Why do I care? Why do you care? Why does anyone care what Young Thug is posting on and off his page? I don't know. Okay? But this is the type of shit y'all care about because this is what gets retweeted 100 fucking times. Real shit. This is what a lot of people care about. It was a little hard, and I was like, damn, I'm going to put this shit at the bottom. We're going to talk about Young Thug at the end. Because who really, I mean, I care, but I feel like he's guilty. That's just my personal opinion, right? If I told you I'm a murderer and then I get on trial for murders, and I'm like, nah, man, I was just playing. Hey, I was just expressing my creativity. I'm going to look like a fucking idiot, okay? But, yeah, man, Young Thug out here in jail. Way more popular on Instagram than I'll ever be and he's in jail, prison, allegedly being mistreated. He said he was being mistreated with beyond humane conditions. And my boy got an iPhone 13 Pro Max. That's a big-ass phone. This is a big phone. Hello? How you get this in jail? Like, it should make no type of sense, man. It should make no type of sense, man. But I hope y'all digging the live stream, man. I try to bring on a couple topics just so I have a little more reference to speak on. But we could go ahead and just keep it going right here, talk about a couple other things, freestyle for a little bit, get some conversation going, man. I've really been into the stream and thinking about what we're going to do, how we're going to take it. You know, I wanted to take it in baby steps, right? In this stream, we got a lot of photos and a lot of things that I really want to talk about, but I would love to eventually have maybe links that y'all send me, right? Stuff that intrigues you, because let's just be real. Like, I guess according to my stream or my feed, my feed on Twitter or Instagram, you know, these are the type of things that are prevalent. These are the type of things that pop up. Video games, music, movies, I guess a little crime. But maybe that's not what everybody is into, which I 100% understand, and I totally agree with. Like, you know, I know that the Texas man shit was a little weird, you know what I mean? Buddy shooting somebody over some bullshit. But, you know, if there's anything anybody want to talk about, I'm going to have like a way to have a Google screen right here. When shit start getting popping out here, watch. And then I'll be like, oh, who's this? Boom, I'm going to Google it. I'm going to Google it. For reals. But, damn, we at 51 minutes already. I like it. I fucks with it, man. I fucks with it. But what do y'all think, man? I had a couple topics, right? Jamie Foxx, Mila Kunis. A couple things, little topics here and there, what I wanted to really speak on. You know, it's been a real quiet weekend for the most part in terms of news and things that are popping, right? But, oh, shit, Blueface was in a fight. Wasn't he in a fight? Hell yeah, Blueface got into a real fight with a rapper that I believe they were having some sort of beef and shit, and Krishan Rock was there. And, I mean, I don't really care too much about none of that, but I did like to see them fight, right? Like, ain't nothing like seeing people that talk shit online actually duke it out in real life, especially in a boxing ring. It's super official. You're going to get some money for it, right? Like, I thought that was pretty dope. But, I mean, besides that, it's been a pretty slow week. I didn't go to the movies, really ain't do too much. Like I said, I had to work yesterday, you know, last minute. Hopefully that shit will slow down because I'm really getting a little over it. A little over it. But thank y'all for tuning in, man. I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream here. I'm going to keep it around the hour mark. I don't comments, all right? So hope y'all have a great evening. Have a great week. I'm definitely going to be tuning back in more than likely tomorrow or Tuesday. But I'm pretty sure tomorrow I'm going to be back on this bitch chopping it up with you guys. You know Mondays be crazy as shit. These are the craziest days, man. The most bullshit be happening. But y'all already know what it is, man. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hit that notification bell on the way out. Don't forget. Don't forget it. All right? I need y'all to stay